So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So here we go again. It's our note of saying goodbye to another great actor of ours, Angela Lansbury. So for this review or her, I've decided to do an old Disney movie. They came out in 1990. They came out in 1971 called Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Um, it takes place during 1940 and in England. She's basically playing what back then was a bewitch was based off of probably Bewitch or a book. Cause so she's a witch in this version, but a lot of it's like she's basically only became a witch to try to stop World War II happening, and she has to take care of 3 kids because back then they had to make sure the kids don't get because England was getting hit by bombs around that time. So all the kids, if you watch Narnia, went to houses out in the country to save them, and she gets 3 of them, and she's trying to study to be a witch to save the war. And at first she didn't want them because she doesn't think that she's able to um, take care of kids. But eventually she warms up on them. The little boy who's 6 years old in the movie is the one she ends up like he control the bed. The older boy, like a lot of kids who are 12, stop believing in magic. They even have a song about you're at the age where you don't believe in magic. and the daughter's not really doing too much, but we bump into the actor from Mary Poppins, the one who plays Mr. Banks. And in this version, he is an old person. He's run a college, but he ran out of the rest of the book, and he makes the witch believe that he's a real magician or a sorceress or who ran a college, but no, he's just a straight person gets money off the streets, like a street merchant. This time around, he's being a street magician, and they go. The only spell that she can fly properly at first. She had like the only thing she could turn everybody into. She tries to go to a toad, but she turns them all into rabbits all the time. And they go to his house to find the rest of the book, but so she can find a way to end the war. While they're at a house that he took into because they left the house probably because they're going off to the war. Serve the war. And so, but while they're there, the little 6-year-old boy finds a book about animal creatures and keeps it. And it turns out that book comes in handy after we see a bunch of street performers do with the dances, and they go to a bookstore and they find out where the other half was with this book, and um, he tries to tell the little boy tries to tell them that he knows the name of the medallion, but they don't believe him. They want the book. So, and they end up using the bed, and that's why it's called Bedknobs and Broomsticks, because they use the bed a lot. Like in 3 scenes, I really hope nobody got they use a lot of lighting, so I really hope nobody got epilepsy in those scenes. They watch this, and they end up going to cartoon, just like in Mary Poppins, and see a bear. But first, they hang out to fish, and a bear fishes them out, and they meet the king, who is a lion like usual, and they help them do football, or as you know, soccer for us, and and uh, the magician, the professor, is being the referee here, and his job is to get the medal from away from the lion. And so he does a little switcheroo after the game is over. I like the animation here; it's pretty cool. And he does a switcheroo for his whistle in order to get the medal or medallion. And they get back to the real world before the lion comes back, and she turns them into a rabbit. So then they go back to the real world, and she can't. She tries to remember the spell, and the professor tells her to make sure, remind her, to make sure you do a little dance when you do it. They try to make it look like a song, and she ends up making the shoes dance, and now all the clothes are dancing. And this is around this time when the one of the ladies from the church or the orphanage, who tells her that the kids haven't found a new home, but they decided to keep the kids, and the kids want to have Professor be their father, but he doesn't know if he's able to take care of them, so he goes and sleeps at the train station. And this is when this is where we see a bunch of German soldiers. I'm not going to say the other word. Whenever this is World War II, so I hope you guys can figure out what word I'm trying to avoid saying. And they are invading her home, and trying to basically invade England. But this never really happened. England did not get invaded by the Germans during that time of her life. So they try to make her do stuff. So instead, they take her to a castle, and while the professor's sleeping on by the train station, he sees them cut the phone lines, and tries to hurry back to warn them, and then he learns how to do a spell. The only reason why he couldn't do the spells right because he did not believe, and so he eventually turns himself to a rabbit before they get there. And So this is when one of the best parts happened. She uses the armor and pretty much everything in the castle to fool Germans into thinking that they're being attacked. And we see a bunch of armor and other stuff attack the soldiers. And I wonder how much string they used during this scene in order to make the armor and all the clothing in that castle move. Because do you know how they did things? Everything is done proper done with proper effects. No CGI here, and so they had to use strings back then. So, and I bet the guy who was in charge of the prop work had a lot of work to deal with. Who was, you guys have been following my stuff, the person who was in charge of doing sound stuff and sound equipment and is actually one of the voices of Mickey Mouse who took over for Walt. So he used to be in charge before he took over for Mickey Mouse. He did all the sound work and was in charge of all the props. So I bet he had a hard time doing all this. So this part is like one of the best parts in the movie. And she's up in the sky, and what knocks her down is a bomb going off, and that makes all the armor and the clothing fall apart. And this is when she decides that she's going to stop being a witch, because now they're not going to be invaded, and the professor goes and helps the soldiers at the end of the movie and joins the army. So it's a really good movie. Angela Lansbury does a really great scene in this. I'm so happy I did not have to resort to doing a Disney sequel, because in case you guys forgot, she plays Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast. So if I couldn't do this movie, I would have to do the Beauty and the Beast sequel, and I don't want to do another one unless I really have to. So this movie is great. I sadly have not watched it that very often. We mostly watched Mary Poppins. Was fine. Both of them are good, but I watch more Mary Poppins more often in my life. So I'm gonna give this movie a 8 out of 10. It's really good. Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. And yeah, you guys remember to believe in magic. Do not stop believing. So, like, favorite and subscribe, guys. So I will have to do another one of these sadly again, because we lost another one recently, which would be for one of the Harry Potter actors. So I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite and subscribe, and bye bye.